I'm pretty sure the guy that was the head coach of Marshall a few years ago when they beat Notre Dame at home, like, I'm pretty sure he, like, left that year. If I'm not wrong. Let me look
Charles
at this.
Huff, who, funny enough, was gone from there, but and he just joined one of the schools we're talking about here. He's in Memphis
Yeah,
now, yeah.
maybe he just looked different, like, yeah, I guess this was him. In my mind, I've got someone else. I've got some big old head coach, like, this dude was huge in my mind, and, like, I don't remember this guy. Like, yeah, that's crazy. Okay.
It's gotta be one of the most stressful jobs in the world, I would imagine, sleepless nights and stuff like that. I'm sure you age very quickly
Oh, I
as
can
a
only
college football coach, especially nowadays with NIL.
welcome back, everybody. Happy Wednesday, happy summer, happy July, happy post 4th of July. It's your two knuckleheads, back on Boomer and Junior. My name's Boomer.
And I am junior.
Welcome back, everybody. It's good to see you again. I hope you guys are all getting tan, but still wearing sunscreen this summer. It's hot these days. I would know because I sweat every day. But we're still doing the thing. We're still doing our summer series where we're just picking stuff up. But something's new for today. Uh, we've officially moved on from the past and we're looking ahead into the 2026-2027 season. As always, I must take a beat. Zachary, how are we doing? What's new with you these days?
Yeah, we're doing good. Just as you would say, doing the thing.
Doing the thing.
Yeah, just doing the work, the surfing, all that jazz. Hyped for I think we can kind of call this like season 2 of Boomer and Junior. Very
Mm.
excited about that. Getting kind of in from the beginning too. We kind of started like we had some technical difficulties. For the folks who maybe don't know, we tried they had like 3 failed weeks of Boomer Jr. beforehand early on due to recording issues,
Oh, I
crazy
remember
enough.
that.
Yeah, but we've gotten that resolved now, fortunately, which is good. But yeah, excited to kind of hit the ground running this year, kind of build off what we learned this past year, kind of keep it moving. So
Yeah.
yeah, how
I
about
mean,
you,
who would
Nick?
have
How are things
thought?
going?
I'm good. Who would have thought like a silly text would turn into a fun little hobby a year later? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, right, exactly.
uh, yeah. I mean, I just remember. Yeah, I guess we are coming on season two. I guess. Well, that's weird to say. Um, Boomer is good. Boomer is good. Let's see. I've got a move coming up here in 2.5 weeks. 2.5 weeks. Yeah. That
Yeah.
has me like trying to like get stuff done, put stuff in containers, but also like I'm only taking my car. And so for those who've done cross country moves in only a sedan, you know the stress that is packing up a car. Uh and it's yeah, that plus life plus like trying to get stuff done is it's chaotic. This might be the most chaotic my life has ever been, but it's a good chaos. It's a happy chaos.
Do you have your
Um,
apartment picked out yet, Nick? Do you know, is it like furnished or whatever?
oh, did I not tell you this? Like, for the viewers at home, I guess, I'm not gonna tell you my address, but I did in fact get a really, really nice deal on a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, uh, really close to where I'm gonna be working, and, uh, got a phenomenal deal on it. Got a phenomenal deal on it, that I will fill you in on, later,
Okay.
but
Yeah, nice.
yeah, I'm surprised I didn't tell you about that. I think I got that, like, right before I went to Spain or maybe when I got back from no, I
You
feel like that was I think that was before
you were
Spain.
telling me about some stuff you were looking at certain points, but I don't know if you'd actually pulled the trigger on anything.
Oh,
So
dude, I'm pretty sure, like I gotta go back and check, but maybe it was right after. Um, kinda got lucky, but, yeah, excited, but, like, having said that, we're back at it. We're here to talk. We're here to give our outlandish opinions on stuff to the 15 people that listen maybe. Um Guys, we're looking at 2026, 2027, and we're looking at my favorite sport. That's football. Uh, we're back. I'm excited, and sort of as like a warm up, one might call towards the new season. We're looking at each conference, or sorry, we're looking at like bigger like groups leading up to leading up to sort of the season beginning. And so, as like the warmest of warm ups, we're starting with the group of fives, not the Pac-12, just the group of five. Uh,
That
we're
is
gonna take
exactly right, Nick, because I refuse to put the Pac-12 in that group. I totally understand not putting them in the Power Four just yet, but they're definitely in a limbo state right now that we need
you
to
know
feel out.
I feel
Yeah,
bad for the Pac-12. I really do. I miss that conference. Like I genuinely, that was the last true thing of like, okay, collegiate football. Um, and then everyone was like, we want money. Guys, we're
I
taking a
miss
look at
the.
each
I would say I miss the greatness of it. It was definitely like the Pac-12
boring.
administration. They did themselves in.
Oh,
Like this is
100%.
completely their fault. Could have been
Not
saved.
even a
Could have been
question.
fixed.
Not even a
Yeah.
question.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just remember us being in college. I'm gonna end on this before we transition into our actual topics for today. But I just remember when you and I were in school. I say that like I'm so old, but I just remember we would finish all of our like East Coast and Midwest and like Southern games, and then it'd be like 10 o'clock. It'd be a Saturday night. We'd be getting ready to go out to the bars, and then you look up on the TV and USC is finally on the TV, or like Oregon and Washington are finally on, and
Mhm.
there's like 15 people in the stands. Um, as shitty as that sounds, I miss those days. Like I miss that. You know, there's always football every single hour of the day. I miss that. It wasn't inconvenient times. Um, Having said that, guys, we're gonna look at each of the Group Five conferences, and we're gonna look at sort of like hot topics, maybe some new coaching changes, and also just sort of like some players to look out for this next year. Zach, you want to kick us off with American?
Yeah, yeah, we're starting off with the American Conference, not the AAC, the American Conference. Everybody, we got to keep that on lock. They rebranded last year, um, but yeah, this is a conference that's got some high continuity overall. However, there are some critical players, and there are some teams that did get decimated though by some coaching changes and stuff. So you look at a team like Navy, UTSA, for example, is one particular had a lot of kind of roster continuity. And Army,
Yeah.
those are teams that are all kind of looking near the top, contending for the conference championship. And then you got a bit of coaching changes as well, right? You've got Brian Hartline, the Ohio State former offensive coordinator, now the head coach at South Florida, taking over for Alex Golesh.
Oh
That's gonna be
yeah.
really exciting to see if he can keep up those. We've all seen Ohio State move offensively. It's something else, and part of that's due to the immaculate talent that they have. But still some good stuff, as well as Neil Brown, who I think is pretty intriguing. He was the North Texas head
Oh
coach, or
yeah.
he's now the North Texas head coach, but he was the Troy head coach and the
Troy.
West Virginia head coach for a while. Uh,
My only thought with this one is North Texas came out of nowhere last year, right?
oh
Uh
yeah,
Phenomenal head coach, really, really gunslinger of a quarterback, right? Like they had the full package, and like they only missed out because they just hit some big teams that they played. And they actually had a real shot of coming out of the American and making the playoffs. Uh I'm curious to hear what you think about this team, but, like, do you think they're gonna bounce back to the same level? Because
I feel like
survey
there's gonna have to
says I don't
nat
think so.
I feel like there's naturally have to be some type of a correction period, right? I mean, I feel like Neil
Mm,
Brown has a decent amount of coaching experience, right? Even at the Power Four level, then, right, with the West Virginia job. Although obviously he didn't have that job then, right? He did
yeah.
lose it eventually. He was an assistant to the head coach, that being Steve Sarkisian at Texas this past year, so maybe got some more experience and knowledge then to help him develop. But I think this year, this in particular, is going to be rough. You had obviously your head coach leaving, Drew Mestemaker, your star quarterback leaving. Um, just the nature of having a great
He
year at
transferred to
a
OSU
high school.
with his head coach, right? Like, he's now at Oklahoma State. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right.
okay.
Yep. Yeah, they're both at
Yep,
Oklahoma
yep.
State. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be a whole new look when we look at the Big 12. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Oh, well.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that there's some potential there eventually, but I don't think it's going to be a quick rebuild. I would be more inclined, for some reason, vibes wise, over at USF. Even though Alex Golesh left, their star quarterback Byron Brown left to go to Auburn as well. Brian Hartline, he's got a cachet and a pedigree about him. I don't know. I feel like he might be able to get some serious
Dude.
up cooking for them in year one.
I can see it. It's all a matter of how you can recruit, right? And, like,
Mhm,
I'm sure USF doesn't have anywhere like, that pocket can't be that deep in terms of, like, shelling out for NIL and all that fun stuff, like, I'm curious to see the kind of, like, true raw recruiting talent he's got.
mhm.
Um, who knows? I mean, I could see this being a 5-7 team. I could see this being a 7-5 team at its ceiling, in my opinion. But yeah,
Mhm. He does have it working for him. South Florida is a pretty easy place to recruit to. By that, I literally mean Southern Florida is a very easy place
true,
to
bro.
recruit to. You got a lot of talent in state as well
So
as,
true.
beautiful
True.
weather and stuff. So
Oh
maybe things will
man,
work out for him. Yeah.
dude, Florida,
Um,
man. Oh,
Yeah. Before moving on to some players, just one other note. I don't know if I touched on this or not, but there were, in fact, no teams moving in or out of the American Conference, a rare thing in this ever going era of conference realignment and teams bouncing around between conferences, going up and down with FCS to FBS, etc. No
yeah,
realignment in the American this year.
yeah. That was weird to see. You that's normal actually, but like the way we've seen teams move in and out after every single year, uh, that one was unique.
Yeah.
Couple of players I wanna call out, I mean, I wanna call this guy out because, I mean, what a player, but Blake Horvath for Navy. I mean, the name had it was a household name almost, but, like, on his feet, just so good. I remember him playing for Navy, and just the way he could, like, be a dual threat when he needed to, and was just so mobile. It gives me flashes. This might be a bad comp, but, like, to Jack Plummer when he was good, like, the 2 seconds that he was good, actually, I can't even say that, like, he did good at Louisville, I can't even say that,
Yeah.
like, he did okay. Also, I think he was the UFL MVP, fun fact.
I did see that he did. Yeah.
Fun fact, guys. Anyway, Blake Horvath, you'll be missed. Byron Brown off to Auburn with Alex Golesh, like, let's see, like, can they still rebuild around him, you know what I mean? Can USF still rebuild without this big presence, right?
Mhm.
Um, Couple key players to keep an eye out for this year. Tucker Holloway for FAU, wide receiver, coming in from Virginia Tech. Obviously, with Coach Franklin going into Virginia Tech, there's not just a lot of influx of players, but we've seen a lot of outflow of players as well. I think they're going to be adding in some serious talent just with this kid. Um, and second, Tulane quarterback Zion Chris Gramillion. Talk about a name, dude.
I
Uh,
think you nailed that one, Nick. I was looking at that, and I was like, "I don't even know how to pronounce that,"
I
but that
just
that
want to
that
know,
seems
like,
right to me.
who in their right mind is like, I'm gonna name my family Gramillion. Gramillion. Like, I want to know, like, what the historic. Anyway, whatever.
It's just too
Dual
close
threat
to
QB.
Gremlin.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like that. I didn't think about that. He's a dual threat QB from Houston. Obviously making a move out. I think he's just trying to build a name for himself, but I think he's gonna be a good addition to Tulane. Tulane, who obviously just went to the playoffs. Didn't really do much with that, but, I mean, they're gonna try and do something to recreate that, right? But some cool players to look out for.
Yeah. I think this, Xeon Chris Gramillion move is pretty interesting because Houston, while it is in a Power 4 conference in the Big 12, I think there's a very
Yeah,
real argument that you could say that Tulane could have the better football program compared to Houston. So this could actually end up being a better opportunity for him despite moving down conferences hypothetically. So,
yeah,
yeah, I think it's a very intriguing one to keep a lookout for.
yeah. Zach, who do you
Mhm.
think is gonna win the conference?
Yeah. Yeah, conference winner, I'm gonna go with UTSA here. Uh, some of these teams do have some continuity, but even like a Navy, for example, that has some pretty good overall roster continuity, they lose Blake Horvath, which is obviously
Yeah.
a major critical hit to them. I'm going to go with UTSA. They keep their head coach, Jeff Traylor, as well as their quarterback, Owen McCown, who had a great year last year. I like the continuity at UTSA to win the American.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the note. I think how can we keep things moving and chugging the same way we did last year? My shot is actually gonna be with Memphis. I think Memphis has a good chance of winning out the American this year. I think they're historically a decent conference or decent team in the conference. And they've been close the last few years. Like they've been close. Like even there was a point last year where when the American was so tight and up at each other's throats, like, these guys were up there, and there was a minute where they were up in the front. Um, Secondly, I also do this to troll Zach because he despises the University of Memphis, and so there's that. So those are my 2
I
reasons
don't
why.
despise Memphis. I despise Penny Hardaway. Memphis basketball only.
Yeah, fair play, and that's the
Y-
American. Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah,
be a good year.
you are correct there, though. Yeah. Not to be confused with, American Conference, Conference USA. Patriotic, I guess, in the group of five.
Lots of red, white,
But
and
yeah,
blue.
Conference USA, big headline this year is they have a streamlined league. They're now currently at a 10-team conference set up there, which is really nice. You can play your, nine fellow conference opponents really solidly, then have your three non-conference games. Keeps things smooth. You're able to play every team in the league. It's just a great number for a conference. If only they focused around that and made conferences like I know like a Big Ten, for example, would be something really great. You'd think somebody would try at some point, don't you think, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Yeah,
Big
here for
Ten,
it.
that almost seems too good to be true. A 10-team
Yeah,
conference
no,
in the Big
who
Ten?
would think of that, right? Like,
Yeah.
who would think that's yeah, no, like, that sounds like a dumb idea. Keeping it at the number and the name that you set out to be.
Mhm.
Shout out
Yeah.
Purdue, founding member of the Big Ten.
Shout out Purdue. Um,
Like founding member, that's all.
yeah, yeah. No, that Michigan State can't say that, that's for sure. So, yeah, to
Um,
get to this 10-team setup, though, they did lose UTEP to the Mountain West, which fair enough. El Paso, kind of in the vicinity, fair enough. And then
El
Louisiana
Paso,
Tech
I
to the
get,
Sun
yes.
Belt. That seems in the area as well. And then also Conference USA taking in the FCS school Delaware, adding them to the mix. Is it Blue Hens? It's something like Blue Hens or something like that is their
It's
mascot.
blue and a bird, like, that's all I know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Blue
it's something
big
along
bird,
those
blue
lines.
bird, blue
Yeah.
hen, same thing.
Nick, fun fact, did you know that Jay Flacco played at Delaware in
You
college?
mean Joe Flacco?
Joe Flacco. Oh, I said Jay, I meant Joe. That's crazy. I
I
didn't back
saw
being
that
Joe
in the
Flacco.
outline. I saw that in the outline, and I was like, "Am I having a stroke?" Like, I you mean legendary Ravens Super Bowl winning quarterback Joe Flacco. No, what's wrong?
Legendary Cleveland Browns backup, legendary. Oh wait, that sounded condescending. I meant that seriously in terms of how he came in at like some
That
ancient
one year,
age and
yeah.
just balled out in Cleveland. Yeah.
His first year,
Yes.
his first stint on the Browns, but yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Legendary
no,
NFL quarterback Joe Flacco.
he's the only guy that I know, like, of relevance to the University of Delaware. Like, he's the only
Mhm.
guy. Ah.
Yeah.
Unique. I mean, won a Super Bowl, so, like, go off, I guess. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I've always, like, loved to see an FCS team make it to FBS. Big fan of other sports like soccer where there's a whole promotion system, like, I love, love, love to see, like, that sort of thing happen here. Smaller brands come up over time. I wish that was more of a thing anyway. Uh Guys, let's talk about some players to keep an eye on. Two guys we're looking at are both quarterbacks. Kid and Krill, Jacksonville State. Uh, he's going to be adding a lot, not just in the air, but on their rushing as well. He's going to be looking to hit that 3,000 pass and 1,000 rush yard season, which is insane to me. Like, you won't have a lot of running backs hit like 1,000 rushing yards in a year anyway.
Yeah.
But I mean, to expect that from a quarterback says a lot about like obviously the group of five conferences and play and whatnot, but still. And second, sounds a lot like Ben DiNucci, but Nick Minicucci, uh, QB for Delaware. We just talked about another QB for Delaware. He's a great pure passer of the game. Really gonna be trying to build on that offensive sort of like uh that offensive scheme that Delaware has. And yeah, it's their first year of conference UCLA like title eligibility. So this guy could help like sort of like build and build towards that. Yeah. Some
Yeah.
cool names, some cool names, some funny teams, but yeah. Zach, who's your winner?
For sure. Yeah. So I mean, some of the favorites, you've got Western Kentucky, Liberty, Jacksonville State, Kennesaw State are kind of your favorites. For me, I'm looking at these schools. I'm like Kennesaw State just can't do it. They've
Mhm.
fairly recently FCS, just still don't have that dog in me to put them in there. Can't do Western Kentucky. ethical reasons, doesn't actually matter, but well, it doesn't matter for my selection. But Western Kentucky just kicked a player off their team for
Oh,
going
I
to like
heard
his
about this.
grandma's funeral or something that it was something
I
crazy
heard
like that.
about I heard about this. Yeah. Was it a
Yeah.
basketball player? Am I listening to that right?
I thought it was football, but I didn't actually confirm that. Regardless, Western Kentucky Athletic Department and I have beef now. So
Beef.
uh,
That's
can't pick
really
the
funny.
Hilltoppers. Liberty, I can't pick because despite them being a very Christian school, they're ironically basically the devil. So that brings me to Jacksonville State as my selection. Why not go with Taven Creel? I was a freshman this past year, expecting to take that soft or freshman to sophomore leap, improve even more. I think he'd be a very exciting player to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to hear about your thoughts on Liberty, but that's a different conversation. But they're actually my pick for who I think is gonna win. They've been not a bad program the last few years. They've been building and they've had a bit of momentum. Um, I just like the idea of them finally having a breakout year. They really need a bounce back year after last, and so, I mean, with all the players they got coming in, why not? And so, new fresh year, new fresh space team. Yeah, let's go Liberty.
Nick, just really quickly, I was trying to pull up the exact things. Uh, Bill, or sorry, Les Wexner, who's a major benefactor of the university, a board member, has serious ties to Epstein, as well as Liberty had a $14 million sexual assault scandal in 2024. Was what I was referring to.
Don't surprise me, but yeah, that's insane.
That
That does
that
not
said, though,
shock me.
they do have a solid football team, so they very well could end up winning the conference. I just couldn't bring myself to do it for
No, fair
purposes of
play,
our
fair
silly show.
play.
Yeah.
Let's talk Mac, shall we?
Oh yeah, gotta love me some action, baby. I am itching for it. Although the mid American conference, right? Being in the Midwest there is kind of where it's mostly based out of, kind of changed up a bit, right? That's because Northern Illinois, who I'd normally consider like a core MAC member, right? It's been one of the better football schools there for the past how many ever years. They're gone. They're going to the Mountain West because Northern Illinois has so many mountains and it's so west.
That's really insane.
And in
Yes.
addition to that, they're ironically taking Sacramento State in from the FCS level. So explain that to one to me. You can't. It doesn't make sense. But that's kind of some of the realignments in the MAC there.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Guys, let's look at some key players. We're gonna be looking at two Western Michigan guys coming up from this year, at least looking ahead to this year. Brock Lowry, Western Michigan QB, really a good dual threat QB under center for the Broncos. He had 1,800 passing yards and 962 rush yards with a total of 23 touchdowns for last season. Guy's a threat. Guy's probably got a gunslinger on him, and like, uh, I don't know, sounds like a pretty aggressive dude. So I'm actually here for it. Staying in the realm of Western Michigan, we're gonna look at Jalen Buckley, running back, a really rugged, independent running back who offers like pretty much who returns after an eclipsing 1,000-year rushing mark from last year. Like sounds like he's gonna be reliable. Look out Western Michigan, I guess, coming out for next year. This should be a team to look out for.
Absolutely.
Who you got winning,
Western
Zachy?
Michigan, Kalamazoo should be electric. For me, I got to go with, as my dad likes to call them, the Fighting Chuckies. Family friend Chuck Martin, head coach of the Miami of Ohio Redhawks.
Oh
You already know I'm
yeah,
pulling for them. They're having some good success. That's right. That's Chuck Martin, former Notre Dame offensive coordinator, right there for you,
yeah.
Nick. Yeah,
Yeah. I like,
yeah.
why is that name
Um,
familiar? But for me, it's really OHIO. Uh, to me, the Ohio University is the University of Ohio. It is literally the University of Ohio. And historically, I think they're a good team. They've been a decent team. And so why not bring them back, right? Like, why not make them the winners? Uh, they've not done anything to let me down. In fact, they've actually had some good seasons. And so why not? Let's take a look at the
yeah.
Mountain West, shall we?
Oh, baby. You know I love me some Mountain West. Let's do it, Nick.
All right.
Yeah.
All you,
So
bro.
Yeah, so this massive realignment that hit the Mountain West, right? You've all heard about it. 5 of the top teams of the Mountain West left for the
It's
Pac-12, right?
crazy.
It's gonna be here. Let's see if I can do it off the dome here. San Diego State, Fresno State,
Oh, yeah.
Colorado State.
Yeah, I think so.
This is embarrassing. Oh my gosh. Uh,
Totally embarrassing,
wow.
as I say,
Okay.
as I don't know.
I'll have to cut that
Hey,
one right there. That's
I'm still
crazy work.
that's still okay. That's still okay, but to your point, massive realignment.
Yeah, massive realignment, 5 top 12 or 5 of the top teams leaving for the Pac-12, but they are taking in North Dakota State, FCS powerhouse, for the first
Dude.
time in the FBS level this year. Yeah, yeah, North Dakota State, who I think has won, like, 3 of their last 4 FBS matchups, which is crazy.
Dude, I saw this happen and I'm like, "Okay, this is huge for NDSU." Historically been a really, really, really good, FCS team, pretty much winning most like, a good chunk of, like, championships the last few years. They're gonna have a lot of good competition in that conference, man. I think a couple of teams to look at, or a couple players to look at, really. Micah Alihado, I think I pronounced his name right, quarterback for Hawaii, newly named Mountain West preseason offensive player of the year. He had a 282.4 passing yards per game last year as a freshman. Uh, he's going to be driving this pass heavy offense a ton this year, which I like. I like the sound of. Plus, we always like Hawaii. They're always kind of like a sneaker, like a sneaker team. I feel like. Davion Reynolds, kick return wide receiver for Northern Illinois, and also special mention Reese Kessel for who's tight end for NDSU. I think these two guys are both important to look at, just high impact additions to each roster. Um, and yeah, both these teams obviously new in the conference, and so it's going to be curious to see how these guys react and play. Zach, who do you want winning?
I have to go with Hawaii. I
Okay.
love Hawaii. This is a vibes pick if nothing else, but I gotta love it. You get your Mountain West preseason offensive player of the year of Micah Alejado, head coach Timmy Chang, the program legend as a quarterback, breaking FBS records when he was there. If nothing else for the vibes and for being a really fun team to watch, I will be going with Hawaii for this pick.
Yeah, I like that too, I will say. I like the vision of NIU winning out the Mountain West. They're the new kid on the block who have potential to make a splash. Uh, I'm not gonna call it a certain Schmoeder Schmame that they beat a couple years ago, in South Bend, but they did in fact do that. And so, no, like, honestly, go NIU, like, new kid on the block, very well deserved move to the Mountain West, bigger conference. I'd love to see them pull this off.
Top 10 days of my life right there. Number 8, I think.
Okay, Sun
Uh,
Belt, Fun Belt. Move on.
Sun Belt, Fun Belt. Good transition, Nick. Yes. Yeah, this is a conference that's been really intriguing as of recent. Last two conference champion head coaches have departed the conference then, leaving the league a bit open. This past year, it was Bob Chesney leaving James Madison, who made the playoff for
Yeah.
UCLA,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
obviously you had Sig Lee for IU, also from James Madison. It's been good time for James Madison in the Sun Belt Conference. I think it's interesting though to see we've got Billy Napier coming from Florida as a head coach there, and now going to that James Madison head coaching spot. Are we going to see him have the same success there? Or is he
Dude.
going to dominate and go on and be this crazy Signetti level type of a guy? I don't know. We'll see.
I hope not. I don't like Billy Napier, and the fact that he deserves to no offense to my Sun Belt, Fun Belt folks, but he deserves to be in the group of 5 conference, like, team. Like, he was touted to be the next big thing for Florida and just did nothing. And so, no, I think that's good. I think that's good he stays there. Hope he doesn't do well for that, but whatever. Players to keep an eye on. Let's look at 2 folks. We're gonna look at a QB and a wide receiver. We're gonna look at Carlos Del Rio Wilson. That is a long name. Returning dual threat signal caller in the league, coming off of a huge 2025 year where he posted over 2,700 yards total. We're gonna look at Chauncey Cobb, wide receiver for Arkansas State, not the Hogs. He's a real threat, and he's been named a preseason first team as a wideout. Uh, and so, like, very excited to see what these guys do. Uh, Having said that, Zach, who's you got? Who's your pick for winner?
Yeah, for my winner of the conference, I'm gonna have to go with the old reliable. I'm gonna have to pick James Madison. They did lose their head coach, lost some of the talent from there in the transfer portal, but I think Billy Napier is gonna bring a pedigree. He's probably allegedly a quality coach, even though he put all of his faith in DJ Lagway, which didn't
DJ
work out at all
Lagway.
in any way whatsoever. Not for DJ Lagway to catch a
What a
stray there.
funny name. What a funny
It is
name.
it is a fun
Sorry.
name, and his skills and development were lagging quite a bit along the way.
Baylor's
Um,
newest starting quarterback.
yeah.
Mm,
Um, but anyways, yeah, I like James Madison though. Um, Even with losing everything to UCLA, they should be fine. I mean, James Madison's had a dominant run. I'm looking right here really quickly. Yeah, uh, they moved up in 2022. They went 8-3 that year, 11-2 the following year, and 9-4 in the year without Sig, and then 12-2 and making the playoffs again this past year. Seems like nothing but success for JMU, and for that reason, I like the Dukes to win this conference.
Wonder how Sig felt about JMU making the playoffs the same year he did with Indiana, like his second year. I wonder how he's got to feel about that, you know? Like,
I feel like it's got to be one of those things where it's like the older brother or like the dad or whatever, like patting the
yeah,
kid on like the head or whatever, like good job,
yeah,
buddy.
yeah.
Not
Ugh.
and not in disrespect to JMU. That's more so a comment about Signetti and his demeanor as well as how amazing of a coach he
I
is.
mean, something
But
that
that was not meant to be a stray at JMU in any way.
something that I've put off all off season, I'm gonna have to certainly start to get used to is reigning champions Indiana University. Uh,
Yeah.
the
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
the optics of that is something that I am not settled with, quite frankly. I am praying they if they make the playoffs, it's barely getting in this year. They obviously don't have like a Mendoza type situation, right? Like they don't have a Heisman potential candidate up at the front.
Hmm.
Um, but for me, sorry, coming back into the Sun Belt, Marshall is my pick for winner this year. Um, Not to do the same thing I just did with the Mountain West guys, but also I can't get this team out of my head. They live in my head rent free ever since they beat Notre Dame a couple years ago in South Bend. I just remember sitting on the couch watching this game with my dad and just being perplexed at what we were witnessing. We didn't know where Marshall was or who they are, and this team with a green M just showed up out of nowhere. And like, there wasn't like a beat down, but they just beat us. You know what I mean? Like, um, it's another. I think it was the other year where we lost one game and then completely just ran the gauntlet, like won every single game out after that. They've got good program firepower, even though it's not the same system as the ones that beat us. But yeah, going with Marshall for my pick in
Yeah.
Sunbelt this year.
Shout out my homie Gavin, who got his master's degree from Marshall, graduated about a year ago from there. Shout,
Shout out
shout out Gavin.
Marshall. Small world.
Yeah.
Shout out. Where is Marshall? Do you know where Marshall is?
It's in West Virginia, actually.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Fun.
Pretty
I did not know
interesting
that.
fun fact there. Yeah.
All right.
And with that, that'll bring us to the end of our group of five conference previews for this season. Next week, we'll be coming back with a Pac 12 preview and be going with the Power Four conferences week by week after that until we get to our
Very
week
excited.
zero preview. Thanks for tuning in to our season 2, episode 1 debut. Super excited to have you here and be going on another season with this.
Very
As
excited.
always, make sure to. Oh, sorry, were you going to say something, Nick?
No, just very excited, guys. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
We got a fun 2 weeks planned up ahead.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. As always, make sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, follow the YouTube, Spotify, everything. If you got any questions or feedback for us, make sure to email us at officialboomerjr@gmail.com or drop a comment on the video or audio. And make sure to check out our social media. We got Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Facebook, etc., etc. Yeah, make sure you keep those going, stay plugged in and everything. And also, little bit of a teaser here. We're shooting for next week, but it'll be sometime in the next couple of weeks here. We're gonna have our first special guest on the Boomer and Junior podcast with an exciting new project that he's been
About
working on.
time.
We'll be sharing with you folks, and I think will be of interest. I know I'm hyped about it. Nick, I think you're hyped about it, and we're
I'm
very
hyped
excited to
about
have
it.
him
I
on and
also
share.
think it's about damn time we put someone else on this podcast, so I'm very excited
Yeah,
about this. I'm
yeah,
excited for some new
yeah.
fresh eyes and some fresh takes.
Absolutely stoked. So it's gonna be really
Yeah.
fun. Looking forward to that. So make sure you tune in next week for that special guest. Yeah.
Bye, guys. See you guys
And
next
yeah,
time.
adios.
Bye.